Hi, today you're going to be entering the information that you've gathered from your road trip into an Excel spreadsheet. So I'd like you to log into Office 365 and click on your OneDrive. Once that opens up, we are actually going to click on New, and from there, we're going to click on an Excel workbook. When Excel opens up, the first thing we're going to do is we're going to retitle the workbook. So up at the top, we're going to type Virtual Road Trip. Okay, and as you learned in the PowerPoint, we've got rows and we've got columns. And we're going to be filling in these cells to track our road trip. So you can use your booklet to help you. And the very first thing I'm going to do is start typing in my days. So day 1, so I'm going to be gone for 8 days on my road trip. And then what I'm going to put here at the top of the column is my start destination. And see how it doesn't quite fit, so I am going to drag the column over so that I can fit all the words there. Okay, and then my next column is called end destination, and that's basically where I'm sleeping that night. My next column is how many miles I drove that day. And lastly, the time I was driving. And I'm going to keep this in hours. Okay, so now I've got my column headings and my row headings. Okay, so most of us are starting off in Bellingham, Washington, unless you are flying somewhere to begin your road trip. And on my road trip, I'm actually ending in Bend, Oregon. Now, I can pull up the map that I created the other day for class, and I can take a look at how many miles that is. You can also open another tab. And real quick, you can enter in that start time and your ending location. And down below, you can see how many miles that is and how many hours. So here are my miles, 416. So I'm going to go back to my workbook. $416 for the day, and my hours driven is 8 hours and 21 minutes. So since I'm entering this by the hour, I'm going to round up and just round up to every half hour. So I'm going to put 8.5 hours. Do not put 8.21 because that's not actually 8.5. So 8.5 hours, and I'm not going to put a little h or hours behind it because we're going to end up totaling these columns, and if there's letters in there, Excel will get confused. So then I am going to show you how I do my next day. So the next day, I've got to remember I'm waking up in Bend, Oregon. So that is my starting destination that day. So waking up in Bend. And that day, I'm driving to Klamath Falls. I'll just put OR. Okay, so I've got my tab open here, and I can delete this. Can switch and put Bend at the top, and I can type in Klamath Falls, Oregon. And now I've got my information popping up. 137 miles and 2 hours and 25 minutes. So I'm going to go back over 137 miles and then just 2.5 hours there. So I'm going to go 2.5 hours. So continue to fill that in, and remember to always start typing in your starting point where you fell asleep the night before. Okay, and you might need to add more days if your road trip is the full 14, and that's totally fine. I hope you have so much fun.